Stage 1. Profound relaxation. Before we begin the profound relaxation of the three brains, it is imperative to adopt a comfortable posture in which your spine is straight and allows one to remain completely still throughout the meditation. So we will begin this phase of relaxation by utilizing our awareness, our consciousness, our essence. Our awareness has the same qualities of space. So by using our awareness to help us relax, we shall settle our body in a spacious expanse. Let us begin by bringing our attention, our awareness, to the area between our eyebrows, scanning that area for tension, for tightness, for rigidness. As we go about our day, as we think, and think more, we create unnecessary tension in our face, in our eyes, and in our jaw. So relax that area between our eyebrows and allow a sense of spaciousness to arise in that area. Bringing our awareness down behind our eyes, allowing our eyelids to relax and release any tension, just as if you were going to sleep, effortless. Bringing our awareness, our consciousness, down into our jaw, relaxing that area of any tension, and allow it to hang naturally in a relaxed way. Descending our spacious awareness down into our shoulders, allowing them to sink down and relax from their elevated state, and sink deeper into relaxation, just like how a fragrance or smoke would enter an empty room very slowly and would fill it up and expand itself immeasurably. So too our spacious awareness enters down into the empty room of our physical body and expanding itself immeasurably. Bringing our awareness down lower again into the area of our heart center, releasing any sense of self that we tend to hold in this area, and allow a spacious awareness to dissolve any sense of self any feeling of me, of I. Allow it to dissolve in the spacious presence of our own awareness, allowing our aware presence to expand itself more and more down into our lower belly. And as that awareness expands itself, so too we will allow our tummy, our belly, to expand also, freeing itself of all tension, of all tightness, of all rigidness. Just like how a balloon inflates and deflates, so too our aware presence expands and contracts our lower belly in combination with the breath. Let go of all the regrets of the past and worries of the future. Dissolve all anxieties in the spacious expanse of your own awareness. Now we will allow our presence, our awareness, to go right down to the ground, right down to where our physical body makes contact with the cushion or chair in which we are seated in. Become aware of the experience of sitting itself. Just sit. You do not need to think about sitting, or to analyze sitting, or to conceptualize about sitting. Just sit. Just be. Without interfering with the body's ability to inhale and exhale. Just observe this process of the body inhaling and exhaling by itself. And with each exhale, let go a little more. Sink deeper into your cushion, into your chair with each exhale. With each exhale, dissolve a little more into your being. Melt a little more into your own experience of your own inner reality. As the exhale naturally flows out without our interference, allow all tension to flow out with it. Let go more and more, and be at absolute peace. This is your natural state. settled, at peace, and abiding in pure serenity. Let us recall and relive a scene from our day, or from any other day, in which an ego emerged within us and took over us. We need to do this in an objective, neutral, and unbiased way. All we need to do is to recall and relive that scene in which the ego emerged within us, without justifying our actions, our thoughts, or our emotions. Just to relive the scene as it happened. Take a moment now to choose a scene and to relive it. Let us now see the cause and effect of the ego. We need to observe this scene in order to find the trigger which stimulated the ego within us. So it could have been something that someone said to us, something that happened outside of us that triggered the ego, or maybe it was something inside of us that stimulated that defect, like a thought or a desire. Once we have found this trigger, we also need to find which of the three brains did the ego manifest itself in first. So after the trigger stimulated the ego, did the ego arise in our intellect in the form of thoughts, opinions, justifications, fantasies? Or did the ego manifest itself in our emotional center first in the form of anger, pride, self-esteem, resentment? Or did it manifest first in the third brain, which is in the physical body, and its instinctual movements and its impulses? I repeat, we need to find the trigger first, which is the cause, and then we move on to find the reaction of the ego, which is the effect. The effect happens in one of the three brains first. So spend some time now on imagining this scene, replaying the scene, reliving it to find the cause and effect of the ego. By now we should know the cause and effect of the ego we are analyzing. We know which brain it entered into first. So now recall in how the other two remaining brains were infected. We must see how the other two brains were infected. So spend some time now and recall how our emotions, our thoughts, or our instinctual movements were infected by that ego also. In order to extract the trapped essence from within the ego, we need to feel remorse or regret for our actions and how we made ourselves to suffer, but also, more importantly, how we made others suffer by indulging in that ego. Without remorse, genuine remorse of the heart, the ego cannot be removed, cannot be eliminated, because inside the ego exists our own conscience. So by feeling remorse, the conscience is extracted from that ego, allowing the ego, which is then an empty shell, to be disintegrated. There is 3 ways which we are going to do this, to see and feel remorse. The first one, which is to relive the scene through our own eyes once more. But this time, bearing in mind how and if we have caused another person to suffer within that scene. So spend some time now replaying the scene and feeling with our heart if you have caused suffering unto other beings. the second way to feel remorse, which is to relive the same scene once more again, but through the eyes of the other person. By seeing ourselves through the eyes of somebody else, we can experience how they felt when we indulge in that ego and projected it onto that person in which whose perspective we are watching it from. By feeling the other person's pain, we should feel remorse, regret, a sense that we have done something wrong, that we have hurt another person. Spend some time now Lastly, we are now going to relive the scene from a third person's perspective, or as a fly on the wall. Observing the scene from this perspective, which is objective, allows us to see the scene as it was, involving the other people also. Now spend some time reliving the scene. Before we move on to elimination, quickly recall how you felt after you indulged in that ego. What was your state of being after indulging in that ego? Did you feel tired, drained, bitter, resentful, moody, depressed, anxious, cold? Reflect on how indulging on that ego made you feel afterwards, how it changed your level of being. It is not our responsibility to disintegrate or eliminate an ego. Our responsibility lies in the observation, reflection, to feel a remorse for our actions. It is the responsibility of the spiritual fire within us, that is, the Divine Mother Kundalini. Her role is to disintegrate the ego and to free us from that demon. There is no specific formula on how to appeal to our own mother. Just like how a child calls on his mother in the most informal way when he is in need, so too we also can plead to our Divine Mother Kundalini, and she will answer us as long as our call is genuine. So in your own way, with an open heart of a child, which resembles a state of gratitude, ask your Divine Mother to destroy the ego to the degree in which you have comprehended it. The Master Samael Envoyeur stated that the student, while chanting the mantra Cream, focuses his or her imagination on the element of fire in such a way that he or she feels like an ardent flame, a unique flame, like a terrible blaze that incinerates the ego. On that basis, then, we will end this practice by chanting the mantra Cream 3 times, while at the same time using our conscious imagination to visualize a blazing fire coming from the base of our spine, totally engulfing us in a huge fire, burning and incinerating the ego within our 3 brains. Cream.